So let's look at it.
Hi, this is Lisa Rudisill, and I'm standing in front of the Charlotte Convention Center where I just met Joe Biden. Hey, this is where the Convention Center is, where the Democratic Party is, and we'll be showing you some more sights. Hello. That looks like fun. Is that fun?
Oh yeah.
Looks like. Hello, I am now standing in front of the famous Blake Hotel. This hotel is where the National Right to Life Convention was held several years ago. And we don't have to worry about terrorists hurting our buildings in Charlotte because they don't have a chance. As we found out with the Blake Hotel, the stucco fell off on one side the other day, and unfortunately many people were not able to stay there, including 600 Occupy people who were visiting from California.
Stand, I'm gonna 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 stand. All right. Organize, organize, organize. Organize, organize, organize. Organize, organize, organize. Sing with us. Organize, organize, organize.
Okay.
And by that I mean the idea that we are stronger together, that we are responsible in some measure for our neighbor, and our neighbor for us. And so that means for me that the idea of the individual, the Lone Ranger who makes it on their own, really needs to be challenged. And the idea that we demonize certain communities, either the rich, because they've made a lot of money, and so, oh my God, they need to do more, or they haven't done enough, or somehow they made money on the backs of some people. Perhaps they just worked really hard and made a lot of money. Good for them. So that's their responsibility to the rest of us, to the community. For the middle class, we all talk about the expansion of the middle class, and that's great.
Occupy groups, labor unions, postal workers, a number of different, and even veterans, a number of different groups who came together to protest. And then there was a call to action in the Faith Council inside the Democratic Convention. Those inside the convention struggled with some very tough issues. There were Catholics, sisters, there were rabbis, there were any number of various Protestants. There were numerous people there who got together and tried to figure out the best way to maintain and strengthen faith and how it could be used together to promote the best for all peoples. Shocking to many people was the Democratic Party's announcement that they were going to remove the word God from their party platform. The idea was to not offend any party members. After wrestling with the issue on night one of the convention, delegates on the floor followed the lead of a Methodist pastor whose motion helped place the word God back in. The faith community was extremely happy about that. Hello.
Hello.
How are you? Are you enjoying the convention?
Yes, thank you.
Good.
And I've been singing professionally gospel
gospel music for 30 years. Come on. And some of you all know my voice. I sang, "Thank you, Lord, for all you've done for me."
Been wondering now for 7 years. Heart like cold and stain, no whiskey, my dying pain. Now we all eat from his tail. Weary and bemused, needless lies, hate the truth. Now I have heard it said, a place beyond heaven's gates. Savior, won't you lead me there? Suffer no more tears to spare. I've been wondering now for 7 years.
With no food and no clothes. And let me say on behalf of the many who are still outdoors, with no food and no clothes, let us vote for this reformation. It's a divine reformation. And I believe that God is on the side of right and justice. Where are the people that are
Everybody else has had a chance to introduce himself or herself. But
I now can say,
you all know
please burn the
very
darkness
religious traditions supporting
out of me.
But you believe in the history of people today. There is a Mormon brother who sees the truth. You have
Wow. I can't believe that I'm here with you today. This is a dream come true. To be here with brothers and sisters of faith who believe in the soul of mankind. Think for a moment. If we all were in heaven right now, we'd all be together. We'd all be brothers and sisters. We would be the ones that keep our brothers and sisters safe and sound. I am Scott Howell. I'm a member of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, sometimes called the Mormon Church. We believe in the sanctity of mankind. We believe in helping the poor and the indigent and the needy. We believe that we have a role in government. We know that together we can solve the problems of this great United States of America.
babies, and they slept in the same bed, and they rolled over at night, somebody did, and one of the babies was killed. So it was brought before Solomon. Which one is the true mother? Which one should have the chance to raise up the next generation? Solomon said, well, let's figure this out. So then Solomon said, let's split the baby in half. And then one of you can have one half and the other can have the other half. And the mother who was not authentic, the hypocrite mama, said, all right. But the mother, the real mother, said, oh no, I'd rather have my baby live than to win my case. As the political process goes on, check out the mother that says, I want to win at any cost, kill the baby. That's the end of the panel today.
That's fine, but we're going to continue. We've got another important panel about applying a lot of the principles we've talked about. We're going to move forward. We're going to be on time, believe it or not. So I invite you to remain. We're going to move forward with dispatch.
I'm proud to introduce this next panel. As this election draws near, we know that faith voters will play an important role, perhaps more important than ever before. As our nation decides between two very different visions for our country, President Obama's vision that we are greater together and that by strengthening the lower and middle classes and providing more opportunities for all, we are all better off, versus Governor Romney's vision that prioritizes the wealthy few at the expense of the rest of us. Our next panel will provide a good look at the ways in which our party will win over the voters, the faithful voters of America, and keep our country on a positive track towards recovery and responsible economic growth. Thank you.
Oh, this is still faith talk.
Hi, good afternoon. My name is Fred Davey. I am the Executive Vice President of Union Theological Seminary in New York City, and I have the pleasure of moderating this panel. I should also tell you that I had the honor of serving on the White House Council on Faith-Based and Neighborhood Partnership. And as many of you know, on that council, the President engaged a number of religious and secular communities around the development of public policy. And that was a smart strategy for the President to deliberately engage diverse religious communities in developing public policy.
My job is very, very technical, and that is to, like all of our constituencies, and all of our constituencies, religious, faith-based, as well as other constituencies, are critical to re-electing the president this fall. So we focus right on the Jewish community. And the Jewish community, frankly, is one of the smaller faith-based communities in the country, only about 2% of the population. But it is a community that is highly politicized, highly organized. Other side sometimes talks about our party's somehow lack of commitment to the state of Israel and the holiness of the Jewish people. Nothing. This president, of all the presidents in the last 40 years, has the most sterling record supporting the security of the state of Israel. And it's our job to make sure that those loud and misleading voices are shouted.
Stop that, we weren't counting words. Fox News said they got to wrap up counting how many times folks say God. Well, word counting is not the faith. I mean, our example is the word. Our example is counting words. And our evangelical brothers and sisters are right here in this room. I don't even, I counsel folks not to try to talk about, the language of reaching out to evangelicals or finding common ground with evangelicals because, we are people of faith. We are Democrats and evangelicals.
I hope you've been catching the persistence of the term values. And it's so important to understand that when we are anchored in those values, it it means that a gathering like this has authenticity because we're not trying to legitimize one creed over another. We're not trying to say that one faith tradition has supremacy over another in the context of who we are as a nation. So it's so important to understand that. That's when I move around the country, and I look around and I see some of the folk who I've seen here in various parts of the country. When I move around the country and I talk with you, you hear me talk about those values.
I was actually the author of the bill that got rolled in as an amendment to the health care law that allows our young children to stay on their parents' health insurance. So today we have millions of young men and women who have maybe graduated from high school or college and haven't gotten that job yet with that coverage. And they can still go see a doctor when they need to. They don't have to go to the emergency room. They don't have to wait until they're very, very sick, but they can actually get the care that we all know that they need and deserve.
Not right now, sir, because we're about to start the program. She can get you right after, okay? Apologize.
What's so proudly we whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous night. For the ramparts we once were so gallantly streaming. Oh, take us as our single
I want you to stay standing. I got one more thing. Claudia Kennedy is a graduate of Rhodes College, used to be Southwest College. Rhodes College in Memphis, great school. She was the first female promoted to Lieutenant General, a 3-star general in the United States Army. She has served in many very important positions, most of them in dealing with intelligence. That's right. You know.
This is my sister in the early part of the room, and she's excited. I am too. This is such a pleasure, such an honor to be here. This is a group of Americans who are like no other group in the entire country. I thank you for your military service. I thank those of you who are family members of the military. I know that there's no one here that doesn't have a compelling story of achievement, courage, sacrifice, and honor. And just want us to all appreciate each other because it's a tremendous tremendous mark of citizenship when you're able to say that you served in our military or you served alongside of someone who is in the military and you gave them your very best support. Now we have a pretty exciting thing about to happen and I want to make sure I don't, not yet. Okay, so I have something more to say. Hey Dennis, come on up and express your appreciation for the troops. The first African-American Supreme Court member in Michigan. He was the first African-American to be the ABA president, which was all white when he first started his profession. This is an unbelievable American.
Let me please add my sincere thanks for your service to our country and the sacrifices and the support family members have given I can't tell you how proud I am of General Kennedy, of Colonel Fowler, and others with whom I've had the pleasure of working with in the Democratic Party. For folks who don't remember the truth, then I'll remind people what truth is about.
Pretty good.
And I think it's about time for me, I feel the hook. Thank you all very much. Please vote on November 6th.
This has been a terrific convention, and it's my great pleasure to notice that the Secretary of Veterans Affairs is in the back of the room. General, that's exciting. We have the senior senator in the U.S. Senate and his wife, and it's my great pleasure, sir, to ask you to just stand and let us acknowledge you and appreciate your service in war and in peace. Sir, we all value the heroism, courage, and your leadership that you have given this country. Well, ladies and gentlemen, but it's, we've got to introduce her, right? All right. She's a mother, she's a grandmother, she's an extraordinary wife, she's an English professor, she's a Blue Star model. And she's committed to education. She has taught for more than 30 years. Just 2 more points, because I know you didn't come here to hear Claudia. You came here to hear Dr. Biden. But she's just published a book for children called Don't Forget, God Bless Our Troops. Just came out a couple of months ago. Don't forget, God bless our troops. My last point is that she and the First Lady began an initiative called Joining Forces. And as Mayor Archer said, it's unprecedented, the kind of leadership that Dr. Biden has given to military families and our military members, retired veterans and active. So with that, it is my great pleasure to introduce Dr. Jill Biden.
Friends in this crowd. Senator Inouye, so great to see you. Hilda, so nice to see you. And I heard General Shinseki is here, back in the back corner. Ah, there you are. Hi, how are you? Nice to see you. Thank you, General Kennedy, for your kind introduction and for your leadership. And Don Fowler, I've known forever and ever. Right, Don? For, I mean, a long time. Okay, I wasn't going to say that.
He was 10 years old.
Yeah. So, I know you've been hearing speeches all day, but I just wanted to drop by, and I wanted to say, wasn't our First Lady so amazing? Mostly I just want to thank you for your service and for your commitment. The bravery and the patriotism and the commitment your families show every day is just such an inspiration. And like the General said, I am a military mom. Our son Bo serves with the Delaware Army National Guard. He was deployed to Iraq for a year. So I know the mixture of pride and concern that you military families feel when a loved one is deployed. From helping vets and our military spouses get jobs, to expanding the GI Bill so that our veterans can get good education, to improving health care, improving mental health for our troops and veterans, to supporting military spouses and caregivers and children. This administration is committed to our veterans and our troops. And I have been so proud and humbled and inspired to work on behalf of our military families. It's been the one main thing that we have really enjoyed doing together. So I want to thank you for your service. You know, Joe and Barack have your backs, so I'm hoping for the next 2 months you'll have their backs. The pleasure and the honor to introduce someone I truly love. He's a military member, he's Delaware's Attorney General, but most importantly, he's my son, Bo.
Thank you, Mom. No better person introducing than your mother, right? Madam Secretary, Mr. Secretary General, good to be with you. Senator Inouye, thank you for your friendship with my dad for 40 plus years. And thank you for being there for me and my brother and my sister and my family. This is a true American hero, Senator Inouye.
Sergeant Sherman. Pledge of allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America